Alright guys, welcome back to Visual Eulogy, recording live from Cotonou. I'm shooting from yet another pretty busy area. The reason why I came here initially actually was to get a tripod. So I came to this store here to get a tripod because I need them for my YouTube videos, and it's getting kind of crazy. I'm using all kind of weird devices to set up my camera, and that's just not working. But to be honest, the reason why I'm here is not for any of that. The reason why I'm shooting this video is a different reason. The reason why I'm shooting this video is this building right here, better known as Cathedral, Notre Dame. So essentially, Notre Dame, just like the one in Paris, except ours has a bit of a different history. So I'm going to try and cross the street and tell you the darker history of that cathedral, if I can get over there. And as I'm telling the history of the cathedral, I'm going to try and tell a little bit of what I know about the history of Cotonou. Cotonou, or better known as Cotonou, as we call it. If I can cross the street, that is. Let me go real quick. And at 3, 1, 2, 3.
I live my life to the fullest, grind hard just to be what I was meant to be. I'm going hard to the end, and I know that this the life that was meant for me. I just wanna be someone, I know that I can make it. I swear this wanna be my hobby. I just wanna be someone, put it on my mama. I swear that I'ma be somebody.
Alright, one done. And I'm going to try and get a little bit closer and boom, tell you the story. So, generally speaking, when people talk about Benin, they are talking about Ouida. So we've heard a lot about Ouida, the Temple of Pythons. We've heard a lot about the Kingdom of Abomey, because those are the things that are mentioned in the movie. So we've seen the Woman King, you've seen these kingdoms being referenced, but as far as Cotonou is concerned, the history of Cotonou is one of resilience. Essentially, the name of the city, Cotonou, it actually means the lagoon of death. So that tells you something. Cotonou is built up on swamps, so swampland, and it's meaningful in the sense that it was inhospitable. And the reason why people settle here is because they're running away from war. They're running away from the powers of this kingdom of Abomey. And the people that came here, the original people, the Tofino, the Hla, the Seto, if I can remember all of them, settled in these swampy areas so that they could get away from persecution from power, right? And that was about in the 17th century. Now, come the 18th century, the king of Abomey is actually looking for a ways into the water, so waterways. So as we know, Cotonou is on the coast, and so he kind of found interest in this area. So that garnered more interest towards this small settlement of little villages, insignificant villages. But as it became an entry point into the sea, then also development started. And who says development says that the small people were chased further and further and further away. That story doesn't end there. It ends in slavery. And as you'll see, Notre Dame is actually one of the bastions of Christianity, of evangelization. It was actually built on the house, the location of the house of the chief of the village of slaves of Cotonou. So this is the point, one of the points where Catholic evangelization began in Cotonou. Yeah, just people are just friendly here. They just say hi for no reason. I don't know. Maybe I know him. Maybe he knows me. He knows my father or something. But yeah, so going back to the story, people fled over here, right? And they try to hide. But then they hid in a place that had access to water. So it garnered interest from the king, and well, back to persecutions, right? So you would see them slowly in the 18th century. You'd have these villages that started to develop based on that pressure. So building ways in between the villages, and slowly as the coast became more affluent, people kind of forgot about Ouida and Porto Novo and those other locations, and they started to essentially trade from here. So that's one of the main aspects of Cotonou. And the people that came here are essentially people that are fleeing. There are people that are fighting, and you'll find them in a lot of the names of the regions. So let's just take a walk around and the Cathedral of Notre. And yeah, if you take a look at this other area, this is essentially what we call downtown. This is the downtown area. And to be honest, a lot has changed over here. They didn't have that bridge not so long ago. And yeah, so the small people are chased further and further and further away. And because of that, well, they ended up in the worst of places. So we've all seen pictures of the still village of Gambier. This is where most of the tourists go to find entertainment. It looks pretty nice when you're coming from outside, but you'll know that that location is actually the poorest location in the whole of Benin. This is where the poorest people live. The reason why they live there is not because it's cool, it's because, well, the land is worth nothing. It's basically living on water surrounded with mosquitoes. Yeah, you got tourism because it sounds, let me move out of here because it's a little bit noisy. You got tourism because, I mean, it sounds cute, but the living conditions are not that good. And so the poorest population lives basically on top of water. They don't have land and they run over there. Meanwhile, the city started developing, right? So 17th century, and the big boom happened after the Declaration of Independence that happened in the 1960s. So from my understanding, in 1952 we had about 20,000 inhabitants, and today, no, 50,000 I believe in 1952 or 20. I have to double check, but today we are almost up to 200,000. So that's to show you how much development happened in such a little bit of time. I'm going to walk a little bit around the downtown. One interesting fact, I know we all know that we all know what African fabric is, right? Africana fabric. Benin is one of the main locations where people purchase Africana. The market called Notre is the main location where everybody comes to buy Africana in all of Western Africa. So Benin is known for that. And that building that you're seeing here, Lisco, is one of the producers of that Africana. Sorry. All right. On that note, I'm gonna see you around. Sorry, I'm probably frowning throughout the whole video because it's blazing hot. It's crazy. It was a pleasure taking you through this medieval historical landmark of Benin. For a little bit on our communist history, check out my video on the place of the Red Star.